In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial on how to cut this stylish corset dress with side pleated flair. So if this is something you like, kindly hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, leave your comment at the comment section. So to start, here is my pattern and I've gone ahead to mark out the basic measurement for this pattern, which includes the shoulder to bust, under bust, waistline. Now I'm getting my hip point, which is 7 inches after my waistline. You can add 8 inches if you're tall, very tall. You can add 8 inches. Now then my full length, the full dress length. Here I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2 and add half because this dress has a sleeve. From that point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and at that point I'm going to go ahead to mark my neckline of 3 inches. This is to serve as a guide to draw out your shoulder slope. After that, I'm going to go ahead to place my ruler and I'll draw out a straight line. So next, I'll draw out a line connecting to the shoulder point. Now I'm going to find my chest line, which is my bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5, and I drew a straight line there. Now I will mark back what I have on the shoulder, which is my shoulder divided by 2 plus half. Now I'll place my ruler and draw a straight line. Now I'll go ahead to divide what I have here into 2, come out by ½ inch, and at this point I'm going to go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll place my curve drew, connect from here to the ½ inch, and I'll be extending this all the way up. Now after I'm done marking this, the next step I'm going to take is to go ahead to mark my measurement. Now I'm going to go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Now go ahead to add my sewing allowance. Mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, add my sewing allowance. Mark my waist circumference divided by 4, add my sewing allowance. So you can use any sewing allowance of your choice. Mark the hip circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. Now I'll just go ahead and connect this pattern. Now for the lower part, you can just go ahead and mark what you have on the hip, or since this dress is in form of a flair, you can go ahead to add 6 extra inches after the hip measurement to give it that flair effect. Whether you mark it as a normal measurement and or as a flair at the lower part, you still go ahead to achieve almost the same result because you're going to still use a slash and spread to achieve that part of your dress. Now I'll just go ahead and place my ruler from the waist, and I will now connect it down to that extra 6 inches length we have at the lower part. But if you use your normal hip, what you just do is connect from the hip and connect it all the way straight. So whether you use this flair method or you use your actual hip, you're still going to arrive at the same answer, which is you're going to still use a slash and spread method, because what we have on that dress looks like a flair but is pleated a little around the sides. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Now if you look at this pattern, you will notice that it has like a cup area, but that cup area doesn't look like something that was cut out with like your normal corset cup method. It was more like the cup area was cut out, or they just used an already made cup to cut that out. So what I did was to go up by like 2 inches from my chest line. Now place your ruler and go ahead to connect. Now I'll be showing you 2 methods you're going to use to achieve this. So from this point now at the shoulder, I'll mark 2 inches or 2.5, so that by the time you use ½ inch to attach your sleeve, you'll be having like 2 inches or 1.5 inches left, depending on what you use. So you can use within 2 inches or 2.5. So I went ahead to connect it all the way straight down. Now I'll go ahead to come down by ½ inch here, and I'll go in by ½ inch. Remember I said I'll be using 2 methods to cut out this cup area, so whichever one is okay for you, you can use it. You still achieve the same result. It's just that one will give you a deeper cup. So I'll go ahead and mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2, and from that line I'll go ahead to mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2 again, trying to mark out the cup area of this pattern. Now I'll draw a straight line just like you do when you're marking out your corset. So from that line I drew, I'll mark my nipple to nipple plus ½ inch. My nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5. I'll mark that 3.5 plus ½ inch because I don't have much bust. If you have a bigger bust, add 1 inch to your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, and I'll go ahead to connect to draw out my cup. Now this is method 1 on how to achieve this cup. Now whatever you cut out here, what you do, you go ahead to use it as your cup. And what you do next is to go ahead to pleat fabrics on it. Whatever you cut out a base, and then go ahead to pleat fabrics on it and attach it back as your cup. So you can use this to attach this, or if you don't want to use this, you can use the already made cup method, where you just use an already made cup and you place and cut that out. I will still be sharing that also. So if you use this method, the only thing is that your cup might not be deep, just like you have seen in this picture. It looks like something that the bust area was just cut out and then attached back and added pleats on that cup area. But if you use a bra cup method, it will be able to accommodate your bust just like you're marking a corset. So here I'll mark 0.5 inches or 0.3 rather, connect it. This is to tighten the yoke, because whatever you're using is like a crepe fabric or something that stretches. So you want to take out that part on your shoulder for it to relax. Now the next step you're going to take is to come in by this side. So we are trying to draw out that part of your dress that you'll be having like a gathers. Now if you look at the upper part of this dress, is as if we have a folding which is on the mannequin. Maybe the dress is longer and they are trying to fit it to a mannequin. So now from here I'll just go ahead to mark about 3 inches from the center. Now this 3 inches is not a standard. You can go ahead to use what is okay for you. So I came down by 4 inches here, and I'll go ahead to draw a straight line connecting it to that 3 inches. Now I'll just go ahead to connect this way. Now after I'm done connecting, I'll just blend off this side. So just like I said, you can go ahead to cut out your pattern in a straight form, or you can just add it in form of a flare. You'll still be using a slash and spread method, which you still achieve the same results on your dress. Now I'll just go ahead and use this pattern to cut out the back pattern. But before cutting that, I'll go ahead to slash and spread this side of my dress. After the slash and spread, I'll go ahead to label it. I'll not cut it out yet because I'll use this part to cut out the back pattern to just reduce the stress of going ahead to recut. After this, I placed it on another fabric and I marked 1.5 inches for my zipper. You can use 2 inches. I didn't get to see the back of this dress, so I just marked it as if it has a zipper. But since this dress is a stretchy fabric also, you can cut it without a zipper. But because I didn't get to see the back, I just added a zipper just in case. If it's a stretchy fabric, you can always place and trace out your pattern without having a zipper. You can easily stretch out a stretchy fabric and wear that. So now I marked out the waistline, and from the waistline at the zipper I came in by ½ inch. I'll extend this all the way up and I'll be extending it down. This is to get rid of the zipper bulge at the back of this dress. Now after I'm done marking this, I will now go ahead to work on the sleeve area. I'll also come in by 2 inches or 2.5 and connect. Now I'll come down here by ½ inch to avoid the chest line area to be popping up at the back, so that it will relax very well. And I'll just go ahead to cut out this side of my pattern. Then we'll now continue working on the rest of the pattern. So here I'll come in by 0.3 and I'll extend. This is to tighten the sleeve of this dress. That is why I'm marking out that part, and you'll be cutting that excess. So I went ahead to trace out the side of this pattern. Now this is what I have for the back. I'll go ahead to trace out this part of the back pattern that I will not be needing. Now if you're using a stretchy fabric like a lycra fabric, you can make this dress without using a zipper. Now this is why I didn't cut out the front part. I want to cut out this side basque area together with that of the front and back, so that what I have at the front will be what I have at the back part of this dress. Right now I'll go ahead to cut out. I'll cut the yoke area and also notch it so that I'll know where I will notch. I'll add back the yoke, that is the little strap I have. Now I'll cut out this part. Now remember, like I said, we have like a second method now, which is using your already made bra cup. Let's say you're using the first method, which is you just cut this out, then use this to like cut it on a fabric. You can add like a bra cup, a wadding to it, and then go ahead to like pleat your fabric on top of it. Or you use method 2. So if you notice, I attached back my cup. So this is a corset I was actually making, and this is a cup inside it. So I want to use this cup just to show you how to use like the already made bra cup method to cut this out. So with this, you're going to have like a deeper cup, right? All you have to do is place your cup at your pattern and you're going to trace out. Now, if you place it and trace out, you find out that the underbust area is the same as that of your already made cup. It's just that the upper part, this part now I'm cutting, is a bit low, which is not that bad. So I can just go ahead to cut this out, right? That is if you're using the already made bra cup method. All you have to do is mark out your basic pattern, place your bra cup, and then go ahead to like trace your cup. So if you just trace it out, you find out that this exact shape of cup, that's what you have. But now, if you're using this already made bra cup method, you won't be using this pattern again, right? What you'll be using is now the bra cup you use in cutting this out. Now you're going to go ahead to cover your cup, like wrap up your cup. So if you don't know how to do that, there are tutorials on how to like cover your cup, your already made cup, on YouTube. So you can go ahead to cover it. So after you're done covering this part, now what you're going to do is get another fabric. Now you now place that fabric on top of the already made bra cup, which you have covered with your fabric, and then you will now go ahead to start pleating fabrics on it, like start creating those pleats that you see on that cup. Then after pleating, you use your pin to hold it down. So this bra cup method is actually easier, and other than the first method, which you might find it difficult when you're adding your cup to. So after you're done creating the pleating and the rest, you now go ahead to attach it to your corset cup this way, right? So now we are now going to move over to the lower part. So for this lower part, I'm going to go ahead to cut this out in a miniature size to show you. Like if I start tracing this out on a big pattern paper now, it might take a lot of pattern paper. So I'll just go ahead to try and create what I have on this other pattern paper in a smaller size, and then I'm going to be using it to illustrate how to get this gathered part of this dress. So now you're going to also use a slash and spread method. I'll just label it out just like we have here. Now go ahead and bring your fabric. Let's say this is your fabric now. Place it. Now this part that is on fold should be the part where your hip is. So I'll just go ahead to reduce this a little to fit into my pattern paper. So the closed part of this pattern, which is the closed part of your fabric, should be the part going to the side of this flare, right? Go ahead to draw a straight line. So what you do now is to go ahead to slash this open, just like your normal slash and spread method, right? Now you now place this on that fabric this way. Now you can go ahead to tilt this side, or you can just leave it straight. You're still going to achieve the same method, right? Now you're going to give space Like if you place your pattern, you will give space, then place the other one. Now depending on how much space you have is how full that side will be. Now looking at what we have on that dress by the side, it is not that full. The only difference is that it has 2 layers, right? Now what you do is trace out the shape. Now after tracing out the shape this way, what you now do is you're going to notch the center and you open it up. Now you now go ahead to pleat this to join the sides of this dress. Now another thing you need to note is that at the side there are 2 layers of this fabric. Now after cutting the first one, you can use the second one as a guide. All you have to do is to reduce the length of the second one and add it together. And after adding it together, weave out the mouth and then you join it to the sides of the pattern.